afternoon, Nigeria, and welcome to the Vice Presidential Debate 2015, organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG. It promises to be an exciting and very incisive Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG. It promises to be an exciting and very incisive debate. My name is Kirian Umayo from the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. And I have my professional colleagues here with me who will now introduce themselves.
My name is Chinyere Ashade, and I'm from Voice of Nigeria, VON.
And my name is Maigri Mohammed Kanna from Bauchi Radio Corporation.
Thank you. I also like to introduce Cyril Aidebema. Cyril is the timekeeper for this session of the debate. And of course, Oyekale Olale Peter, he's the sign language interpreter for this session of the debate. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. It is only appropriate at this point to actually introduce debaters for this session, who are the vice presidential candidates of their various parties. And we will start in a list that is done according to alphabetical order. And I now have the pleasure to invite the representative of the Action Alliance Party, AA, who is the vice presidential candidate of that party, Comrade Ishaka Paul of Family. Thank you very much. Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN, has Florence Oluremi Ojembwede as its vice presidential candidate. Thank you, Madam. The African People's Alliance, APA, has Anthony Faith Oloboshere as its vice presidential candidate. But he sent in a message a couple of minutes ago that he is psychologically not prepared for this debate today. So we are not expecting Anthony Faith Oloboshere of the African People's Alliance, APA. But we have Alhaji Haruna Yahya Shaba of Hope Democratic Party, HDP. The People's Party of Nigeria, PPN, has Mary Arebaman as its vice presidential candidate. Mary Arebaman of the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN. Thank you, Madam. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to invite Mr. Taiwo Alimi, the Chairman, NEDG Debates Format and Rules Working Committee, for an introductory remarks. Mr. Taiwo, please. Mr. Taiwo, please.
Good evening from the Africa Hall of the International Conference Center, Abuja, organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG. My name is Taiwo Alimi. The Nigerian Elections Debate Group is a broad-based national coalition of the media, civil society organizations, and professional associations working together to host presidential debates for candidates seeking elective offices as or governors of the country. For the purpose of clarity, NEDG is non-partisan, not non-political, and independent, designed to ensure that political debates become a permanent feature of Nigeria's democracy and culture. NEG has a broad board of trustees with Mr. Shola Omole, DJNTA, as chairman. The debates are designed to present to the Nigerian electorate the opportunity to have first-hand information on the plans of candidates and the strategies of implementation before a radio, TV live audience. We are happy to say that the Nigerian Elections Debates Group is the largest, most credible, most experienced debates group in Nigeria and Africa, and our activities have attracted the attention of the international community. The NEDG platform remains the most credible and the most powerful forum that will enable presidential and vice presidential candidates present their policies and programs directly to several millions of Nigerians at home and abroad at a go. Through debates on issues, not persons, not religion, not ethnicity, we promote political tolerance, politics without bitterness, constructive dialogue, and politics of service to the people of Nigeria. The debates will be issue-based and issue-driven, aimed at setting public agenda which may form the basis of policy formulation and direction of government. The live transmission of the NEDG debates will be transmitted around the country and globally through television and radio signals and also through webcasting. Responses from Nigerians at home and abroad to the 2015 presidential debates by NEDG have been overwhelming and reassuring. Through our website, email, SMS, and letters, NEDG has received over 4,000 questions in the last 2 weeks from Nigerians at home and abroad. There will be a live non-participatory audience. The audience is not allowed to interrupt, applaud, or say anything in the course of the debate. I now proceed to hand over the envelopes containing the questions to be asked to the moderator and panelists, which they will be seeing for the first time. I thank you all.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Taiwo Alemi, with the background information on our deliberation today. He's now handing over the questions that have been slated for this session of the debate. And on that note, may I once again welcome you to the African Hall of the International Conference Center, Abuja, venue of Nigeria's 2015 presidential debate, organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG. As you were told, NEDG is a coalition of the Nigerian media, professional associations, women, youth, and civil society organizations. And let us quickly acquaint to the details of the rules of this debate. 14 political parties are participating. But for this session, we have 4 participants. There shall be 3 sessions of presidential debate and 3 sessions of vice presidential debates. Pairing of parties for each session of the presidential and vice presidential debates is according to the party's visibility in the National Assembly elections for the 2015 elections. We have relied strictly on the approved list of candidates issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The debate series shall have 3 sessions today for the vice presidential candidates and 3 sessions for the presidential debates on the 8th of February 2015. The rules are the same for every session. Each candidate is allowed 3 minutes for opening statement. Questions are limited to the broad areas already disclosed to the candidates. Each candidate has 3 minutes to answer a question, and there shall be 3 minutes allowed to other candidates for a rebuttal. The moderator is also allowed a follow-up question or follow-up questions, as the case may be, based on issues raised in the rebuttal. Profane language is strictly not allowed. Direct attack on candidates' personality is prohibited. Higher sense of decency and decorum must be maintained in the course of the debate. And candidates are allowed 3 minutes each for their closing statements. That's when we get there. And the time period allowed for questions to be answered must be strictly adhered to for us to have a smooth debate. For timing, green light will indicate start. Amber is a warning that only 30 seconds are left, while the red indicates stop. I do hope that we're going to adhere to this to enable the debaters have enough time to touch on issues that will be raised by the questions. When the candidates arrive, well, now that you are here, we have this tradition of handshake, and of course you have to embrace each other, and you'll do the same at the end. So at the right time, I'll let you know that. Well, as Mr. Taiwo told us earlier on, none of us here has been aware of the questions set for the debate, except now that they have been submitted to us. So we have the right to open these questions, study them properly, and be able to ask the questions. There is in the auditorium a cross-section of the public which forms our audience. But this audience is not allowed to interrupt, applaud, cheer, yell, or say anything while the debate is on. I hope these rules are well taken. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask the debaters to proceed to the center of the dais and, of course, have a handshake and embrace one another. And then after which you return for us to commence properly. Thank you. As you do that, that's in the spirit of sportsmanship. Thank you very much. Yes, the moderator asks the first question to the candidates in the alphabetical order. Remember about the timing. The green light means start, amber, 30 seconds to go, red is stop. Now, for the opening statements, you have 3 minutes each to do that. And I'd like us to commence by asking the vice presidential candidates for the Action Alliance, Comrade Ishaka Paul, to take the floor. Ishaka Paul of Family to take the floor for the next 3 minutes.
Good morning, fellow Nigerians. I represent Action Alliance Party, and we are for the masses. Our mission is to develop a Nigeria of our collective hopes and aspirations. We want to save the life of the common Nigerian while protecting the interests of others. Hence our slogan, let the masses live. Our dream is to build a Nigeria where everybody is gainfully employed and there is justice and peace reigning. We believe that this nation can be better if the common man is made a partner in the project Nigeria. We believe that the stomach is not crying for nothing when it makes noise. Therefore, hunger is man's enemy that must be conquered jointly by all Nigerians. We believe that when you are not employed, you will be hungry. We believe that corruption is the cause of hunger and that we must join hands together to fight hunger. we are looking at in Nigeria, where all and sundry will be happy. Free education, free medical care for children, students in primary school, secondary school, and tertiary institutions. We are looking at free medical care for pregnant women, children, and students. And then an equitable distribution of income amongst all Nigerians, so that every home there is food. We preach diversification of the economy, which we shall emphasize and do immediately. We shall diversify the economy for agriculture as a second source of foreign exchange earning, and solid mineral and gas and other energies as a third source of revenue earning. Fellow Nigerians, this is a clarion call. We call on you to stop the recycling of money bags. We call on you to bring about sincere leaders who have the interest of this nation at heart. Action Alliance stands for all this. We thank you for organizing this debate. Those of you who have come, we thank you. And those of you watching us outside, we also thank you for sparing time to watch it. We are dedicated to sincere service to humanity and all Nigerians. Thank you very much.
No clapping. No clapping, please. We will not entertain that anymore. Thank you, Action Alliance Vice Presidential Candidate, Comrade Shaka Paul of Femile. Now, it's now your turn, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, ACPN. And we have Florence Oluremi Ojembwede. Thank you, please. And your time starts now, please.
Thank you very much. I must say that we do appreciate this forum and this opportunity that you have given us to be able to present ourselves to the people of Nigeria. The Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, my party, is poised to better the lot of Nigerians. We believe that the commonwealth of this nation should be spent for everybody in the nation. We want to focus on education, and that is qualitative education, especially in the tertiary sector. We want to diversify our economy. We've been, relying on oil, and we all see what, the price of oil is now. We want to be able to diversify and go into mining, into agriculture, and quality agriculture for that matter, not just producing goods that become rotten. When we say agriculture, we're thinking of mass production of food items and adding value to storage and to marketing of these agricultural products. Some of our products are quite acceptable abroad, so we're looking into exporting food items, adding value to them and exporting for foreign earnings. We're looking into a better health system for our people, especially the elderly, the pregnant women, and children below the age of 5. We're looking into community health care system, a way of reviewing what we have on ground now and then improving on that. Also, my party is interested in the employment of graduates that we continually churn out year in, year out without providing employment for them, adequate employment. We don't have to turn out these graduates so that they can, start looking for job from one office to the other. While training them, we need to be able to to prepare them for entrepreneurship roles so that they can be employers of labor rather than to prepare them for entrepreneurship roles so that they can be employers of labor rather than looking for labor. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria's Vice Presidential Candidate, Florence Oluremi Ojembwede. Thank you. And next is Alhaji Haruna Yahaya Shaba, who is the Vice Presidential Candidate of the Hope Democratic Party. Sir, your time begins.
Thank you very much, Leader. I stand on the existing protocols. It is my distinct pleasure first and foremost to thank the organizers of this historic debate. Indeed, the debate is timely and appropriate, especially when we approach the general election. I sincerely thank the President of patriotic Nigerians who are here and the viewers at home. Hope Democratic Party is a welfareist party who is ready to help the masses of Nigeria. We are ready to offer a new Nigeria based on a wealth uploading and recreation of our resources. Nigeria, it is a sad fact, in fact, in our national history, Nigerian has been derailed with question of leadership and Marian problem. So this is what attracts the attention of Hope Democratic Party to come out and participate and serve the common man in Nigeria. We have a bunch of programs to cover the problems we are facing in this nation, range from leadership, corruption, diversification of our economics, employment opportunity, skill training to train our youth, and even remind our present youth to cultivate the culture of patriotism. If you look at our problems of today, is lack of patriotism. The first leaders have left the legacy to our old leaders now, the patriotism, but our old leaders now, they have left a legacy of corruption, because corruption is everywhere. So Hope Democratic Party is here to present in Nigeria the program that will fight against corruption. Thank you very much.
And thank you indeed, Elijah Haruna Yaya Shaba, a Hope Democratic Party, HDP. And I will move to the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN. And its vice presidential candidate is Mary Arebaman. Madam, you are on now.
Good morning, Nigerians. I really want to appreciate me standing here before everybody this morning. I appreciate everybody in Nigeria today. My party, People's Party, PPN, People's Party of Nigeria, we are here to make Nigeria better, to fight for the corruption of Nigeria. One thing that we are really talking about is about health of our people. We are here to build hospitals around so that our people, or the children, pregnant women, will not be suffering. And we're here for education, free education, if we have the opportunity to be in a position to make sure we have free education for primary and secondary education. We'll give them free books, free uniforms, and everything they want, so they will be okay to know that education is one of the best key in this country. Then the third is to empower our women and the youths to make sure, to empower our women and youth to make sure they become something in life. It doesn't matter where one is coming from. What matters is where you are going to, where you are headed to. So we are here, People's Party of Nigeria. I am here to make sure the youth and the women, we empower them to become something in life. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You still have more time, but perhaps you are done for this opening statement, are you?
Yes.
All right. Now, from your opening statements, you have all main reasons for wanting to be vice president. But I should still want to find out from you why you think Nigerians deserve to have you and not any other one or any other person.
Thank you. The people of Nigeria deserve a better deal than what they're getting now. And I know that that better deal will come from me. One, in the sense that I am a part of the masses. We've been in this struggle ever since, and it has been evolving, and we know where we are now. We know where we are now is not what the people want. And if voted into power, if people can shun politics of godfatherism, of money bags, and of putting family, turning the politics of Nigeria into family business. It's either me, my husband, or my son, or my cousin, or my in-law, then they should vote for the right people, regardless of the fact that they've been enticed with a lot of things, which either we are not forthcoming, but because it's election year, it's election month, they're distributing whatever they're distributing from money that should have been adequately and properly spent for the betterment of Nigerians. I have come to say no to that, and I have come to give you a better deal, a fair share of what you need, which is good education for your children so that you can have peace of mind in old age, good health care so you don't die of unimaginable diseases that have been eradicated world over, so that you can have a better future than people doling out part of your money to you and you're running helter-skelter after them. I am the better choice for you than what you have now. What you have now may be good. They may have tried their best, but Nigerians are crying and yearning for a change. And not just any change, positive change in the right direction. And that is what we at Allied Congress Party of Nigeria are offering Nigerians. We've done it before, maybe not in terms of having a president, but we've been through thick and thin with the people of Nigeria. We know where it pinches them. We're not just coming here. I have a reputation to protect. I'm a woman of integrity. I will not come here and speak to you and the world and then go back on the words that I have said. So I think because we are here to provide your children with the education they need and the opportunity to go through the full-scale tertiary education, whether you have money or not. We're not saying it is free, but it's going to be partially funded. I think I'm the best bet for you.
Thank you, and thank you indeed. And now to Hope Democratic Party.
Hold on. Welcome, Mr. Moderator. I have appeared to be the best to occupy the second seat of the Vice President of this nation because of the hard work that my party has done. We have carefully studied and researched in each and every area that we're having problem in this nation. The audience will agree with me, since our independence, in our journey of today politics, Nigerians are yet to create and prove the dream of our founding fathers, a society where peace, progress, and unity will reign. So by giving Hope a mandate to mount the throne of leadership of this nation, in 1 year, Nigerians will be smiled because of the bunch of program we have to offer Nigeria. Firstly, in our education sector, we have to revolutionize the education and found it to the standard required. And we have also going to provide a social security and justice to all and sundry. We are also going to provide a security, job security for our employed and unemployed. Believe that the wealth of this nation is properly enhanced and applied. Even the unemployed will have what is called a pocket money to be receiving at the end of each month, like other countries are doing. But due to the lack of leadership, Nigeria is still left behind. I emphasize on leadership because if you don't have a good leadership, the country will not move forward, and we are going to still remain where we are today. But if Nigeria give us your mandate, I promise you people, hope will take you to the promised land, as our name implied. Thank you.
Now, the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN.
Thank you for this opportunity. The reason why the vice president of the PPN People's Party's vice president is to make the betterment of Nigeria. What am I trying to say? The betterment of Nigeria is to make our people better. The situation that we are in this country now, I think many of us, we don't like it. We are not saying what they did before. Other people, they've not done well. But we are coming, or I am coming, to improve, to add to what they've done before. To help for educations, health care, and every other things our Nigeria needs. And secondly, to empower women, more especially. If you look around, we have widows all around there, no husband, and they have a lot of children to take care of. So I pray, if I become the vice president of this country, I will make a widow to become something in life. And our children, again, to make sure our children, they have good education. Not only the rich will become good in this life, even the poor, they will become something. I want to stand as a vice president, as a coming vice president of this country, to make sure our children become great in this country. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll now take questions from the panelists. All right, we are going to Action Alliance. Sorry for that, please.
To answer that question, I and the party Action Alliance have, over these past 16 years, researched into solutions to our problems, our national problems. And at this point, we have good solutions to them. We have honest and sincere solution to hunger, mass unemployment, especially amongst the youth. We have a formula with which we can create between 8 million and 10 million jobs annually. We have solutions to the health problems of Nigerians, which successive governments have not been able to do. We have solutions to youth empowerment, and especially to how we shall transfer power to the youths.
Sir, Action Alliance, remember the question is why you want to be the second man in charge of administration in this country.
That is what I'm
your
saying.
Your own personal contribution as the vice president of this country.
I have solution to the problems of this country after a thorough research. The problem of hunger, unemployment, mass youth unemployment, and the solution to how we can transfer power to the youth. It is not sufficient to call the youth to transfer power to the youth. I have this solution. And I want to come out sincerely and give this service to Nigeria selflessly. Thank you, sir.
All right. Now questions from the panelists.
Our distinguished vice presidential candidates, we've touched on various issues, but we'd like to go to specifics now. And I did notice that in the course of your statements, your remarks, one issue has been omitted, and that's the issue of Nigerian roads. We know how important transportation is for the development of the Nigerian economy, so straight to the point. What attention would you give to Nigerian roads?
We'll begin with the Hope Democratic Party candidate.
Hold on, Mr. Moderator. Quite all right, we omit the issue of transportation, but we have a good plan for that, because my party is going to revolutionize infrastructures, rails, ferryway, construction and expansion of roads we have across to the nation. And if you look at our roads today, sincerely speaking, I can cite a reference to one road from my own area, from Agay to Kacha local government. That road is a federal road. I was talking about 80s when I was in primary school. But up to date, that road is dilapidated. You can't even see the sign of roads. So we go around the countries, we notice all this. And my party, if given this mandate, we promise Nigeria we are going to revolutionize our infrastructure by building a qualitative roads to Nigerians. Because road is very important. In our transportation, there is movement, mobility, transferring our goods from rural area to the urban area. So if we don't have a road to even what? Reduce the case of incidents. Because without good roads, we will be having a huge number of casualties on road accidents. My party has a good plan for that area. If Nigerian people give us the mandate, by God's grace, in 1 year, they will see the changes. We are not promise and fail. We are here to promise and fulfill. That is why I may say I will thank the organizers of this debate by giving us this opportunity, Nigerians, to see us and appreciate our programs.
Yeah, thank you. To People's Party of Nigeria.
Thank you. PPN, People's Party of Nigeria. We talk about roads. In my own area that I came from, Edo State, although they are really trying there, but if we have this opportunity, or if I have this opportunity to be the vice president of this country, I will make sure to increase the roads factors that they are doing now, to make sure the roads that we have in those areas are good. And secondly, for the transportation that we are talking about, really transportations, if you are going, the transportation that we are talking about, if the road is not actually good, wherever we are going to, it will not be fast for us to get to our destination. So People's Party of Nigeria, we really measured about the road. If they give us the opportunity, from now to 1 year time, we do a better road for Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you. More questions? Action Alliance, sorry.
On the road construction, we would identify roads that are not good for now and ensure that they are properly constructed at federal level. We will dive into integrating the rural areas with the cities. This story today is true that more roads and better roads are in the cities. We have to integrate the rural areas to the cities with good roads to make sure that the raw materials for industries and food for consumption or the people teamed up in the cities are coming out freely. We shall look at that rural integration as a matter of urgency and importance. We shall set a network for maintenance. One problem in Nigeria, on Nigerian roads, is maintenance. These roads are built, they are not maintained over time. In 6 months, they wear out. We shall ensure a program of daily maintenance. That means people must go and see these roads, pass through these roads regularly. There will be efficient maintenance, which every Nigerian will see. That is our program for the roads.
Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I must say that there have been changes in some aspects of transportation in Nigeria, especially when you talk about the railway and the aviation industry. But then still more can be done. If voted into power, we would want to, my party and myself would want to go into private public partnership on the railways, where we have companies and large international organizations buying coaches with their logo and thereby creating employment for our youth. Because there is a limited number of coaches that we have now, even with the revamping of that sector. That's the railway sector. The aviation is all right. The railway sector can be further expanded to link each state capital to the other, so that we can use that effectively for transporting goods and mass transportation. And the same applies to road transportation. We will continue to build roads as we deem necessary, but not just build road because we want to build road and take so much money and spend so many years on those roads and we don't follow up whether they're death traps or not. Once you discover in terms of maintenance, we lack that maintenance culture in this country, and it's so sad that we have gigantic projects, we have infrastructures lying fallow because we do not follow up on maintenance. If I come into power, what I will do regarding maintenance is to have a monitoring system whereby people go around and we are alerted of areas where we're beginning to observe potholes, and we immediately take a proactive solution rather than leave it and let it expand, and then we now, award further contracts in tunes of billions to, repair what we have done. We need to link the rural areas to the urban areas so that rural dwellers can transport their produce, agricultural produce, to the urban area, and they can thereby improve in their marketing techniques. Thank you very much.
Corruption has been mentioned by all the political parties. And it has come to the level that it is said to be the major obstacle to development in Nigeria. How do you intend to address the issue of corruption, impunity, and money laundering?
I will start with the People's Party of Nigeria.
What intend to do in terms of corruption of this country, of our country, is to make sure there's nothing like corruption again.
People's Party of Nigeria, Mary, make yourself comfortable, and you're free to talk to us more. Please go ahead.
To make sure there's nothing like corruption in this country again. Really, people are talking about corruption. That Nigeria are corrupt, no good, the people are not happy about the situation of Nigeria. So People's Party of Nigeria, we said, if we are in power, that we are going to change corruption to make sure that everything will move forward in this country. Thank you.
All right. Action Alliance.
Corruption, the greatest enemy of Nigeria today. We are going to tackle it properly. First, we'll start by getting the ministry, the judicial arm of government and the legislature to introduce retroactive laws, very punitive ones, as the background for fighting corruption. We'll set up a national restitution committee. There are Nigerians, and all of us know some, who are the people who have the nation's wealth in their hands. We call them to restitute. Return this money. With the records are there. We set up special courts to try corruption cases. Unlike the present situation where somebody is in court endlessly for years because of one corruption crime or the other. A target should be given. Say 100 days, 200 days. The result must come out. The public will hear. The man due for punishment will be punished. Where the wealth should be recovered, it will be recovered. We shall work with the legislative arm and the judiciary to introduce something like a back duty taxation, a way of calling back money that was taken away by force or unknowingly. Back duty taxation on excessive properties that we see all around. We question them. We shall, in the process, teach the young that corruption is bad. If you are able to correct or punish those who have done it, others will not follow. The loose nature of our laws allow for what is happening now, so we'll tighten up. These are some of the ways we are going to make sure that corruption stops.
All right, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
It grieves my heart that we all talk about corruption. We abhor corruption. We don't want to be seen as perpetuating corruption. Yet, in our very closets, that is exactly what we do. Until, I am of the opinion, until the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature are given autonomous powers, we will continue to have corruption in this country. Because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. I cannot put a judge in place, and then one of my godsons has been taken for money laundering, and that judge will now indict him. We don't do that in Nigeria. Until we put things in perspective and put checks and balances in the way we operate our public and private sectors, we will continually have corruption in place. If voted into power, I'm going to give autonomy to the legislature, the executive, and the legislative arm of government, so that each can work with some sort of independence without being coerced, even though non-verbally, to do things that are not right. We are corrupt through and through. We perpetrate corruption. We are not ready to stop it until we begin to name, shame, and prosecute these people, it's not going to stop. So we need to start with naming and shaming, and then we prosecute them and actually punish them. If we can punish somebody who is very hungry and goes to steal a chicken, and you put him in 5 years imprisonment, why should you now let somebody who is taking our commonwealth abroad or somewhere, or even in this country, and they're riding private jets and eating to the extent that they're so full they don't know what to do with money again? Why should we let them go? So if I come into power, it's not business as usual. There are going to be checks and balances, and everybody is going to do their business. If we catch you converting our money, we shame you, we name you. Not only that, we prosecute you and give you due punishment. Thank you.
All right, Hope Democratic Party.
Hold on, Mr. Moderator. The issue of corruption is a broad, wide word, because we have to even differentiate what is corruption and stealing. That is where the issue of good leadership arrives. If you don't have a good leadership who are sincere visionaries, all this issue of corruption will not wipe in Nigeria. Because you can't have a corrupt leader and expect that person to fight corruption. It can't work. You have to put the right person in that seat who will monitoring any disbursement of government into any sector. If there is proper supervising and adequate implementation, the issue of corruption in public offices will not even come. But in Nigeria, we have one culture. Even the way we are awarding our contract is automatically corrupt. Because a contract of 1 million may be given out at the rate of, let's say, 3 million. And that 3 million, the owner that give out, the person that give out the contract has his own share. And the others, there is boss at the top who are ready to receive their returns. And likewise, the person that is being awarded to the contract, he cannot even do the work of that 1 million. He can chop the money and go free because there is no good leadership, there is no sincerity, and there is no even patriotic. Because I keep emphasizing on this issue of patriotic. If we are patriotic, we can't be cheating ourselves, our country, in the name that we are cheating others. Parking our money, dumping it elsewhere, leaving our home emptless. So I'm telling Nigeria with confidence, if Hope Democratic Party votes into power, we are not going to use what is called technological system of fighting corruption. We are going to use a fiscal fighting of corruption. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
You are done. Thank you indeed. I don't expect to hear from the audience, as we rightly put it at the beginning of this debate. Now the next question.
We move on to the oil sector. Very, very vital to the development of this economy, the Nigerian economy thus far. But there have been challenges in recent time which have had dire consequences on the Nigerian economy. Nigerians would want to know, how would you intend to deliver on your economic policies and promises if the oil prices continue to remain volatile?
Action Alliance.
Thank you very much. We shall diversify from the onset, move Nigeria to other areas of economic development. The first would be agriculture, which I like to call social economic agriculture. a deviation from the thing we are doing now. Farms everywhere, big ones, that can employ thousands of Nigerians through private investors. Even if we have to go outside Nigeria and invite such farmers, such companies that are farming, give them land, give them loan to do these things, provided they provide jobs for Nigeria and food. We shall do that. We shall emphasize the production of cash crops for exportation so that we can earn foreign exchange, besides producing locally for consumption and sale to other African countries. We shall immediately go into solid mineral. Today, the practice is that foreigners come from China and other places to tap our solid mineral resources, raw, take home and process. We shall bring them here to stay, do the job here, mine, process, explore, mine and process and market from Nigeria, and thereby create jobs in thousands for Nigerian young men and women. We shall support them. The kind of interest and support the federal government has in petroleum will be displayed in agriculture, as well as in solid mineral mining and processing. These areas have been neglected. Farming is left to the peasant farmer. It is no longer enough. There has to be mechanized and commercialized approach to farm. And this we intend to do all around Nigeria, using known farmers all over the world. We shall approach them. We shall attract them to come and invest. We shall get land banks to give them land. We shall provide irrigation facilities for them. And I know that if we are able to do this, I've voted in, within a year, we'll have enough local food and extra to supply or sell to other African countries. In the next 2 years, we'll have cash crops, because the gestation period is long, to export cocoa, groundnut, soya beans, ginger, etc. The resources we have, we need to use them properly. This will ensure it's done. I am sure if we're able to diversify into solid mineral and agriculture, practically, not just by paper, practically, we'll provide enough resources to support the resources.
Thank you. Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
We saw this coming. We knew that the price of oil was going to plummet, and it's below $47 per barrel now. It still might go further down, and that is why we have said that we were going to look into other sectors of the economy. The oil sector, what we can do is just to make a review where we went wrong, where we overpriced the commodity we thought we were selling, and what can be done in terms of opening up our refineries. If there had been steady growth in the way we have maintained our refineries and we have put them to operation, we wouldn't find ourselves in this mess. We had crude oil, and we were quite content with exporting that crude oil to be refined for us abroad and brought back to our shores to be sold to us at very high prices. What sort of leader would allow that? As a mother, I wouldn't allow someone to come and take gari in my house, go and make it into a bar, and start selling it for me to come and buy at a higher price. But that was what we did, and now we are paying for it. Because that money was being used to fund the ostentatious life that some of us were living. We were quite pleased with it. Because the companies that were giving whatever to import oil, our cohorts, we were quite comfortable. Now, the brass are down, and we need to diversify. Diversify into solid mineral. We have it abundantly in almost every state of this country. But because it is tedious, it is not easy money as oil, we got laid back and we're not mining. Mining is respectable, Mining is worthwhile. Mining can earn us so much money. Same goes to agriculture. We can grow our cash crops, add value to them, export, and earn foreign money. While we're doing that, we have enough for the country in terms of local consumption. But we refuse to do that because we always want the easy way out and the quick abracadabra money-making thing. In my party, we're going to look at all these other avenues and then focus on them and look for alternative source of energy. Thank you.
All right. Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The issue of this is one of the consequences of relying on what is called a monopoly source of income. But let me take us back to the history before exploration of this crude oil. What hold the nation, what developed the nation is agriculture. But today, agriculture has been left to the villagers, as my colleague said. So if Hope Party is given opportunity, we have a huge program to transform agricultural sector entirely into mechanized farming, and is going to be direct funded by our government. Because if you look at agri sector, we have many, we can even diversify that agri into many sectors. We have cash crops product, we have this animal feed and all the rest. But because our leaders have interest, they are having a where they can siphon our resources silently without the concept of the Nigerians. Because I can tell you today, even the Minister of Petroleum cannot give you the account of the crude oil that is going out a day. And this crude oil, most of these our leaders have their refineries outside. If not, it's a foolishness. You have a crude oil, you take one back to your country. What our refineries are doing, we have refineries in our country. What those refineries are doing, are they not equipped enough to refine this crude oil until we take it out and refine it and take it back? So to me, if Hope is given mandate, I'm telling you, all this will be a story and history, because we have a lot of programs to diversify our source of income into various productive way. And we are going to do that in 1 year by God's grace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And to remind all of us here that we should be careful what we say here, so we don't say things we cannot substantiate. At least focus on these issues as is were. And now to the People's Party of Nigeria.
Thank you. For the OS you're talking about, I cannot really say anything about the OS stuff, because
yes, if I may remind you, the oil sector is driving the nation's economy. And now that the price of this commodity is going down globally, what would you do if you get into power as a vice president to see how you can diversify the source of revenue for the nation?
What I will do is that I will make sure they will not be carrying our oil out of our country to other countries, so that the price will not be going higher than higher. Okay.
All right. Next question.
It is said that health is wealth, And a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. But that will be only if you have policies that are directly affecting the Nigerian people. If you are voted into office, explain to the Nigerian masses the health policy direction of your government.
Well, we start with the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of health, we all know that the women bear the brunt of most health issues because we are mothers and because we care for the children that we give birth to. And in terms of that, I am going to open up more maternity centers. Because whether you like it or not, people in the rural areas have not free access to basic healthcare delivery systems. Some will have to trek kilometers before they can access health care in maybe the only community health center they have in the neighborhood. And of course, we know the implication of this for a woman who is in labor and wanting to, deliver a child into the world. What we have is now local midwives delivering our babies, and the resultant unhygienic situations that we find this, births. Sometimes the children don't live even up to the expected 5-year period before they give up because they use unsterilized methods. The umbilical cord may be whatever, the placenta may be retained because the midwife herself is not trained. She just knows that her mother did it and her grandmother before her mother, and then she steps into it and becomes the local. If I'm voted into power, we're going to have mobile clinics in all the rural areas as feasible as can be to take care of women, children, first aid, things that they can do. If you visit some of the so-called community health center, there are no equipment. There are no materials, there are no equipment for people to use. So we will be, there will be days where you visit each village on a regular basis and you now attend to them medically. The existing free medical on malaria, on mother and child up to the age of 5 will still be in place, but vigorously monitored and reviewed to make sure that the materials are getting to our people and that we are doing the right thing by them, because we owe our people to have good health.
Thank you. Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to say something about the health in our country. If you look at the health, it's the only thing you can give to the common man. Beautiful, we have many hospitals, health primary cares, but they are not well equipped. If you go there, if there is doctor, they will say you, we don't have this, we don't have this. Maybe they will just give you appointment to go and meet them in private hospital. So Hope Democratic Party is going to equip our hospital and rebuild primary health care in our rural communities. And this health care, it has to be free from the childhood up to 18 years. Because by getting that 18 years, you are expecting to be. So this is only the way your government can help. So if Hope Democratic come into power, first we are going to equip our hospitals and we are going to remunerate our doctors so that the issue of going strike will not be raised. And health care is going to be free from childhood up to 18 years. And we are going to be strictly monitoring all the activities of that sector. All this issue, at times, honestly, all we are debating from the right facts. All the source of this problem, liking of this, doing wrong things, it starts from the leadership. By the time the head rot, the whole body will be rotted. But if the head standing, all the body will stand. If Mr. President say yes, I don't think there is somebody that will say, hey, Mr. President, we can't abide by this. No, no. It has to be strict forward. So this is our plan. If hope of the Democratic Party give opportunity to crown the mount of leadership in this nation, we have promised Nigerians health care system will be free from childhood up to 18 years, and our hospital will be well equipped. There is no more going abroad for medical checkup. Thank you.
All right, People's Party of Nigeria.
Thank you. Talking about health, everybody knows that without, if you are not healed, we cannot be here today. People's Party of Nigeria will make provision for that. If we are in power, or if we are in power today, that we are going to move around hospitals. When you get to hospitals now, you see a lot of people lying that there, no money to take care of them. Some of them, no equipment to take care of them. People's Party of Nigeria will make provision that if we are in power today, we will move around hospitals to make sure even the poor that does not have people to take care of them, we will empower them so that they can take care of them. Because it's not everybody that's supposed to die in the presence of their situation. It's just because of the condition they are in that moment. So People's Party of Nigeria, we are making provision for that to make sure we improve, to move around hospitals or to create more hospitals, doctors and nurses so that they can be able to take care of people. Thank you.
All right, Action Alliance.
Thank you. Health is wealth, I agree. We, if we get into power, shall provide more public health care facilities with modern equipment. Health will be free for children, students, elderly citizens, and the unemployed. We shall improve the facilities in all the federal hospitals by way of bringing in all the necessary machineries that make Nigerians leave Nigeria for India and other places for treatment. All those things that are there will bring them into Nigerian hospitals. If our doctors don't know how to use them, we send them for training to know how to use them so that we can save foreign exchange by remaining here and get well treated. The first therapy, of course, is to provide good food for Nigeria on the table. Because if you don't eat well, you must be sick. When the doctor gives you the drugs or even wants to operate you, the first thing is, did you eat? So we'll provide good food on the table for Nigerians. Besides the hospitals, doctors will go on training. Where it is necessary, we shall employ more the doctors from outside to join our local doctors, at least for on-the-job training, and make sure that everybody, including Mr. President, commissioners and senators, go to Nigerian hospitals for treatment. If the equipments are there, it is a total package.
All right, thank you. The next question.
Well, distinguished candidates, I'd like to go to a question that will definitely interest the youths of this great country. Statistics have it that at least 1.8 million new entrants come into the job market yearly, searching for jobs. So what strategies do you have in place through your party to provide jobs for the teeming population of Nigerian youths?
Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you very much. Mr. Moderator. In the issue of unemployment, it's a worsening situation in our country today. But Hope Democratic Party has a good package for Nigerian youth based on this issue, because we have a program where we are going to industrialize our country. And also we have a program that will link a government, Hope Democratic government, if come into the power, will sponsor a research, academic research, and individual research on various fields or projects that Nigerian and humanity as a whole, in line with transformation agenda, will benefit. We have talent Nigerians, but they don't have the support. If we have industries, let me take you back to recent few years back when our industry are fully functioning, like Kaduna Textiles, where we have a lot of textiles there. Now they are all dilapidated. They are not operating. In those days, if you are graduating from the school, you are not waiting to have a government work. You can just find yourself in that factories. So, but today, due to the many problems, all these factories are closed down. We have Ajakuta and NDCC, all this, they are not functioning. So our government will make sure that all these companies are alive and new company will be provided in order to have job opportunity for our teeming youth. Because this is the issue that at times used to instigate our youth, find themselves into this political turbulence and all this. If they are employed, they don't even have time to go and do all these kind of things. So we have a good package for that if we are elected into the office of this country. Thank you.
All right. People's Party of Nigeria.
Thank you. Talking about the youth, the unemployment really, if you want to look, we have a lot of applicants outside there. Graduates every day, here and there, no job for them. Looking about all these construction companies now, I think as of last 2 weeks, they started sacking people to join the ones that we have before. People's Parties of Nigeria, we said we're going to make provision to make sure that our youth, they have something doing. As you are graduating, you'll be getting job. Because if you look around, talking about robbery and stealing and every other corruption in this country, it's because they don't have anything doing. So we are making provision for that. As soon as they are coming out from their school, we'll make provision for them to start working. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Action Alliance.
Thank you, sir. We are prepared and we have researched into how we can provide jobs for the youth. We shall provide jobs for, in every year, between 8 and 10 million youths through road maintenance, through agriculture, through environmental cleaning and converting garbages to wealth, through free education. That education will be free will mean more employment for teachers, bulk of whom will be youths. We shall identify the industries in Nigeria, viable and dead, list them, induce the dead ones to start and employ people, induce the working ones to produce to at optimum levels and employ people. There will be mass employment into deficient areas of the armed forces and the youths come to mind easily. All facets of the armed forces. We shall have ICT centers everywhere for the youths to work on. Those we are not immediately able to absorb, we shall provide for them social benefits. Every year, we have a program to identify 1,000 specially talented youths, each of whom would receive an ex gratia of 1 million naira. That means 1,000 young Nigerians will receive 1 million naira each for the talent they have to enable them develop and employ one or two other youths to pick that talent. And that will continue yearly. By the time we are able to do this, we shall provide enough job. And like I said, between 8 million and 10 million every year. Thank you.
All right, Action Alliance. Now I want to go to Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
In achieving employment for our youth, when voted into power, my party would want to overhaul the power system. If the power system, from generation to distribution and to marketing of electricity, if they are very effective, we won't have some of these manufacturing companies and industries relocating to some of our brothers in the west of Africa. Once we are able to stabilize power generation, distribution, and marketing, we will then go into training our youth in life skills, even outside of what they have gone to the university, their paper qualification, so that as soon as these children are graduating, they have something, even if it's a stopgap or a hobby that they want to take for life, they have something that they can do. They'll not go looking for jobs, but they will be employers of labor themselves. They can go into so many things. There are barbing salons that boys are really interested in. Some of our Nigerian youth, both female and male, are very active in entertainment industry. They do the Nollywood, they sing, they do a lot of things. And they can directly go into that rather than carrying their certificates in hand, looking for paid employment. Because really, if you have to be frank to ourselves, most of us seated here are not using our certificates. We're not even doing things that are related to our certificates. I went to university, and right from university, I knew that I had to be self-employed. And I've never worked for anybody except for my youth service and everything, internship. And by the grace of God, I am here today. A lot of children do not need to wait for the government to provide them education. They should be skilled enough to have other things to do outside of their paper qualification. So we are going to divert their attention into that area and into sports, where they can be footballers, they can do other things, other sports like table tennis. We have the Paralympics. We have to give equal opportunity to everybody and make sure that we don't churn out this large number of graduates, year in, year out, and send them roaming the streets to go look for a job. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll now move to the next question.
Trade union dispute, industrial action, labor strike. There are so many names given to all these actions that tie the wheel of progress of Nigeria. If you are voted into office, what is the main policy thrusts that you use in order to solve and resolve this kind of disputes?
People's Party of Nigeria.
If I voted into power, talking about strike and all that, I believe the reason why people go to strike is because what they are looking from government they've not achieved it. That is the reason why they used to go to strike. If I vote to power, I will make sure that everything they need, that I have the power to do for them, I will make sure I do it so that there will not be strike from schools or work and any other things. Thank you.
All right. Action Alliance.
We shall consult and consolidate discussions with any aggrieved party, labor union or industrial set of people. What is your problem? We discuss, we set up a committee to discuss with them. If that discussion on the first instance did not work, we put another date. At the end of the day, we expect that there will be a breakthrough and a position will be reached. I think the problem before now is that when these decisions are taken, they are not implemented. We shall be sincere and faithful to implement whatever decisions are taken with intending associations or unions or industrialists that are wanting to go on strike, as long as they are in the interest of the nation. During the discussions, whichever party is aggrieved will be made to know the truth, depending on what the cause of agitation is. And then whatever is reached will be sincerely, timeously implemented. And this will limit strikes. This will limit industrial actions. Thank you.
Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
We of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria believe that strikes should be the last form of action. We are going to put in place a system where the disparity between the salary scale of the private sector and the public sector are reviewed and come out honestly with what is achievable. If right from the onset, everybody knows where they stand, what they can get from government, and how they can get it, there won't be any problem. Problem arise when the labor sector wants increased salary in terms of basic salary, but they're not thinking about the welfare of workers. Instead of agitating for more salaries, why don't you agitate for a roof over the heads of your members? Why don't you agitate for movement, mobility for your members? That is also money. And that is also something that might be acceptable, more acceptable to government than actual monetary incentives. And the bulk of this lies in the fact that government keep promising, we will look into it, we have looked into it, this is what we're going to give you. And they all go after the pally, only to come back a year, 2 years down the line with nothing being done. I would be aggrieved myself. But right from the onset, if you know that your basic salary is going to remain the same, but I'm going to give you better working hours, I'm going to give you better provision in terms of medical health insurance, I'm going to give you added incentives, maybe towards payment of your children's school fees, then we know where we stand. And all this, when you look at it, add up to even more than the labor, people are asking for. And as a government, I think I would want to create a relationship between the government and labor, whereby we keep the line of communication open and we are truthful and honest to ourselves. That is the way that we want to curb labor agitations and strikes.
All right, Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I know that if Hope Democratic Party have been elected into the office of presidency, we are going to meet the challenges of strikes. But let us be sincere to ourselves. What is the source of all these strikes? in Nigerians today, if you look at the salary barriers, it's too gap. In a country like Nigeria, where some are earning millions of naira as a salary, but still in that country, some people are earning 4,000 per month. They are using the same market, buying the same commodities. For God's sake, let us to be sincere to ourselves. Why people must not go for strike? We have to adjust these salary barriers. It's too much. And look at what you say, the minimum salary in Nigeria, they say is 18,000. What are you going to buy in the market for that 18,000? Maybe you are a family man, you have children to take to school, you are going to take their health care and all this. So it's a great work for a government to look into that portion. And if you look at this source of this strike, most of us, we experience this when we are in the school. We're supposed to spend, let's say, 2 years, but we spend more than 4 years in the school because the lecturers are on strike. The government refused to pay what they call condes for them. And they also demand for what? Equipment for the student to have a conducive learning. We say we don't have money. If you go to them, they say there is no money. But when this campaign is going on, look at how much money we have been spending for nothing. Why can't we use this and solve the problem of these people, taking care of their welfare, give them their mandate? If proper salary is paying, I was discussing with one of my lecturers just some few days ago. Honestly speaking, that man is crying. He say up to now his children are dropped out from the school. He don't have school money to pay for their school fees, and that person is a lecturer. How do you think that person to go and teach? Automatically, we can't have what we need.
Thank you for adhering to time. Let's take the next question, please.
And we're focusing now on Generation Next. And I'm referring to the children right at the bottom there. They have rights. What steps would your party take under your leadership, if given the opportunity, to protect the rights of the children of Nigeria?
Ladies and gentlemen, going by the time, this will likely be the last question. And I'd like to begin with the Action Alliance.
The right of the children will make sure that Nigerian children are no longer abused. Those begging, we try to stop them from begging. Physically try to stop them from begging. Despite the Arimajiri schools, the north is still filled up with the Arimajiris. We make sure that the children have good food, good health, good registration at birth point, and then a good census among them. We set up at the nooks and crannies of this country children development centers. Good teachers, men and women, will be employed to take care of these children, so that when they grow into adulthood, they first start with good primary schools, move into good secondary schools. That is the way we want to look at it.
All right, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria.
My party is going to take cognizance of the rights of a child, be it girl child or male. The children are, without any iota of doubt, going to be given the right to shelter, to good food and to health care facilities. It is the duties of parents to provide all these for their children, not the duty of the children to fend for themselves by hawking or selling or staying away from home to beg. So we are going to make it compulsory, just like the 633 system. We're going to review it. We're going to make it compulsory for children to be in school. We're going to be very passionate about the education of the girl child, because it's one of my passionate areas. We're going to stop the abuse of children by the people who are close to them. We're going to make sure that our children are not crying at night, because between you and me, there are a lot of children who go to bed without food, who are not sure what they're going to eat in the morning, who have no proper clothing, and who are not loved. My party is going to take cognizance of these facts. Because the children are our future, we say that, but do we take care of our future by taking care of these children? We send them on errands just too enormous for their ages. The adults are to blame. We who claim to love them are to blame. We're going to stop that. We're going to make sure that each child goes to school. If you don't send your child to school, if any child is found on the streets, it's the parents that will have to bear the brunt of that. Let them go to court and tell us why they're not sending their children to school. It is not your child's problem to feed the family. You should feed your child. So those are the ways we're going to attend to the needs of our children. And I do hope that we will be able to do this instead of putting funds to go abroad for medical checkups of adults who have outlived most of their useful years. Thank you.
Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. At the right of the chart, we have to look at the word right. Because this right should not be contradicting with our culture and our religions. Constitutionally, we look at it. Each child in Nigeria has a right of free education. If hope come into the power, that one should be compulsory from primary school to the tertiary institution. And each child must be free from health care, like I said, mentioned, from childhood to 18 years. And each child must have the right of, let's say, expression, if that expression is not contrary against or will not instigate others. Because you can give a right to a child, he can abuse that right. But Hope Democratic Party is going to be strictly supervised and make sure that that right is exercised based on constitutional. It's a constitutional. Each right must have a right of education, health care, even feeding. Why your child must sleep without eating? Well, I cannot blame their parent. Is the condition of the country. Because if you look at the situation of Nigeria, more than 55% of Nigerians are living under $2 US. It's less than 2% that are abnormal rich. So if you look at this area, at times it's not even the fault of the parent, because I don't think there is a parent that may wish his children or his son to sleep without anything in his stomach. So our government will make sure that poverty has been eradicated so that each and every Nigerian will feel happy and kata. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. We are experiencing interruption there. I hope someone's telephone is not on, as we have already asked everyone to switch off your phones before we commenced this debate. That's an interruption and it's coming from a receiver gadget. Please, let's take care of that. Okay, now to the People's Party of Nigeria.
Thank you. For the children, that is the reason why I said we are going to empower women. People's Party of Nigeria, we are going to empower women. Because when we empower women, then the women, they will not have the ability to take care of their children. Now, their children cannot be selling pure water around the street. When they don't have anything, that will make their children to sell pure water or begging food around the street. If we are talking about children, orphanage, more especially, those ones, they don't have mother nor father. And these those that will make provision for them so that they can go to school. They will not feel they don't have mother or father. Even other children, People Party of Nigeria said they are going to make provision for their free education for them to go to school, for them to know the meaning of education, so that things will be moving forward for them. Thank you.
All right, as I said earlier, for want of time, we've just had the last question for this session of the vice presidential debate, but we still have, we'll give you 1 minute each actually for you to sum up your statements, or of course your what you're able to present to Nigerians based on issues raised from my colleagues here. So please, would like you to use 1 minute to do a final statement that will, of course, bring the totality of what I've said today here. May I start with the People's Party of Nigeria?
Good afternoon, Nigerians. I really appreciate this opportunity given to me. People's Party of Nigeria said if we are in power today, we are going to make Nigeria great. People's Party of Nigeria, we never say that our government have not done anything. But if they make us to be the next president or vice president of the country, we are going to start from where our president, Goodluck Jonathan, stopped from. So I just want to thank everybody for this opportunity given me today. Thank you.
All right, Hope Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I must say to Nigerians, we have a good program for them, because our party, Hope Democratic Party, under the leadership of High Chief Ambrose Albert Owuru, will tackle the problem of Nigeria, will bridge the gap, will rebuild the trust between the leaders and the people. So, Nigerians, we need a new social contract with a new and genuine political party which believes in equity, progress, and equal opportunity for all citizens of Nigeria, irrespective of status, tribe, or religious. And I can tell you, it's only Hope Democratic Party, as the name implies, under the leadership of High Chief Ambrose Albert Owuru, will present a new Nigeria to the Nigerians people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Allied Congress Party.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to reiterate any of the points that I've earlier made. I'm just going to appeal to Nigerians. They're clamoring for change. and I bet they want positive change. If that change must be achieved, you go and get your PVC, and on that day, go into the polling booth. That will be you, your ballot paper, and the future of your children and your grandchildren. Do the right thing. Vote for positive change. Vote for Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, so that at the end of the day, we don't all just end up being birds with broken beaks, sitting on piles of grains, dying of hunger. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Action Alliance.
Youth employment is crime against the youth, crime against humanity. Join hands with Action Alliance. All Nigerians, let us join hands, forces together, form an alliance, and push Nigeria forward. It is possible to employ all. We have the resources. All we need is patriotism. But for unemployment caused by corruption, hunger caused by unemployment, we are divided against ourselves. Come together, join hands with Action Alliance, and let us push Nigerian forward. 8 million to 10 million jobs per annum is our promise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations to the vice presidential candidates of Action Alliance, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, Hope Democratic Party, and People's Party of Nigeria. May I request that you proceed to the center of the dais, as you did earlier on, to congratulate yourselves by exchanging handshakes and, of course, embracing yourselves. That is a job well done as vice presidential candidates of your parties. Congratulations once again, and you can return to your former positions. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite for certificate presentation Mr. Taiwo Alimi and Malam Abubakar Jijiwa to present certificates for these vice presidential candidates of the parties who are all starring for 2015 presidential elections that will be coming middle of this month. Thank you. May I invite Comrade Ishaka Paul Ofemile of the Action Alliance. Congratulations once again. And Florence Oluremi Ojemwede, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, please step down for your certificate. Thank you and congratulations. Alhaji Haruna Yahaya Shaba, Hope Democratic Party, HDP. And the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN, Mary Arebahan. Thank you, gentlemen and lady, for that presentation. Thank you indeed. And that's the debate for the first session of the vice presidential debate of 1st February 2015. The second vice presidential debate returns at 3 p.m. Nigerian time. The 2015 presidential debate is brought to you by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG, with support from INEC, NOA, NBC, BON, NUJ, NGE, NPM, NDI, and the DGD project. All BON member stations are our official broadcasters: African Independent Television, AIT, and the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, who are the official production stations for global distribution of the 2015 presidential debate signal. Africa's biggest radio network, Radio Nigeria, is our official radio production station. And to our viewers across the globe, many thanks for watching, and to our radio audience, thanks immensely for listening. And that's how it's been, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for this first session of the Vice Presidential Debate. Thank you, and see you at 3 p.m. Confused at the point. I forgot to. That is why it's good for you guys. Okay.